Have you ever wondered why some people seem to rise while others stay stuck? Why a few manage to create something extraordinary, while most keep talking about someday? Napoleon Hill had the answer. He called it the law of persistence, a principle that explains why 97% of people fail to reach their true potential. Hill didn't create this law out of theory. He spent 25 years studying the world's most successful men. Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie, people who built their dreams from nothing. He wanted to understand what separated the rich from the poor, the leaders from the followers, the doers from the dreamers, and what he discovered was brutal. The majority of people are ready to throw their aims and purposes overboard and give up at the first sign of opposition or misfortune. That's the truth about failure. Most people stop, not because they can't continue, but because they won't. The illusion of effort. In today's world, people confuse activity with progress. They think because they're busy, they're growing. They mistake motion for momentum. But Hill warned, effort means nothing without persistence. You can start 100 things, but if you never stay long enough to finish one, you'll end up with empty hands. The 97% love excitement. They love the beginning, the rush of a new goal, the thrill of the first step, the validation of telling others, I'm doing something. But the 3%, they fall in love with the process. They show up even when it's boring, lonely, or uncertain. They keep working when nobody's watching, when results are invisible, when nothing seems to move. That's persistence. It's not loud. It's not glamorous. It's the quiet endurance of faith, the belief that what you're doing will matter, even when it doesn't look like it right now. Hill said, persistence is to the character of man what carbon is to steel. Without it, you may look strong for a while, but you'll break under pressure. The psychology of quitting. Most people quit for one of three reasons: fear, impatience, or comfort. Fear whispers, what if it doesn't work? Impatience says it's taking too long, and comfort convinces you you're fine where you are. Hill called these the enemies of persistence. They live inside your mind disguised as logic. He explained that the mind has a strange habit. It listens more to fear than to faith. That's why persistence must be built like a muscle. It grows only when tested. Here's the truth. The moment you decide to do something great, the universe will test you. It will throw problems, rejection, pain, and disappointment your way. Not to destroy you, but to ask, are you serious? Hill said, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. But most never reach that benefit because they quit before the seed grows. The 3% mindset. Let's talk about that 3%. The ones who refuse to quit. The ones who make history while others make excuses. They all share one mindset. I may fail 1,000 times, but I will not stop until I win once. Hill noticed that every great achiever developed what he called definiteness of purpose. It means they know exactly what they want. Not, I want to be rich someday, but I will earn 1 million by building value in this field. Their goal is so clear it burns in their subconscious mind, and when life tries to pull them off track, that burning desire pulls them back. Most people have wishes. The 3% have purpose, and that's why persistence flows naturally to them, because quitting isn't an option when your purpose becomes part of your identity. Hill wrote, weak desires bring weak results, just as a small fire makes a small amount of heat. If you're not persistent, it's not because you're lazy. It's because your desire isn't strong enough yet. Find something worth suffering for and persistence becomes automatic. Failure as a filter. Here's something Hill understood better than most modern gurus. Failure isn't punishment, it's a filter. Life doesn't give success to the one who starts first. It gives it to the one who stays last. Failure separates the curious from the committed. It removes those who want comfort and leaves those who want change. Hill wrote that failure teaches men lessons they would never learn otherwise. He meant that persistence only develops through defeat. Think about it. If everything came easy, you'd never grow discipline, courage, or resilience. You'd become soft. And that's what happens to most people. They get soft because they avoid pain. But persistence is born in discomfort. It's in those long, sleepless nights. It's in those silent mornings when you have no motivation left, but you still get up. That's when you evolve from the 97% to the 3%. Modern distractions, the new enemy of persistence. In Hill's time, the enemy was fear of failure. Today, it's distraction. We live in a world that constantly rewards short attention. Scrolling, skipping, switching, everything is instant. But success? Success is slow. It takes time, patience, boredom, repetition, the very things social media has trained your brain to hate. Napoleon Hill's principle of persistence is more relevant today than ever. He said, "Victory is always possible for the person who refuses to stop fighting." But how can you fight when your attention is stolen every 10 seconds? If Hill were alive today, he'd say this: "The greatest challenge of your generation isn't lack of opportunity. It's lack of focus. The 97% keep chasing new trends. The 3% build mastery in one thing until the world pays attention." The turning point. Persistence doesn't mean you never feel like quitting. It means you don't give in to that feeling. Hill said, "Most great people have attained their greatest success just one step beyond their greatest failure." That's not motivation, that's history. Every inventor, every entrepreneur, every artist has faced that wall, the point where nothing works. And most people turn back, but the few who push one step further, they cross the invisible line between average and extraordinary. They enter the zone where things suddenly start connecting. Ideas, opportunities, people. That's the reward for persistence and momentum. Once you have it, success starts to chase you. Faith, the engine of persistence. Hill believed that persistence is powered by faith, not religious faith, but belief in yourself. He wrote, "Faith is the only known antidote to failure. When you keep acting even without results, that's faith in motion. When you stay disciplined when no one believes in you, that's faith in persistence. Faith turns effort into energy. It gives meaning to pain. It's what keeps you alive inside when your dreams still look impossible. The 97% stop because they lose faith. The 3% win because they never stop believing that their effort will eventually pay off, even if the world calls them crazy." Your choice. Hill didn't write for entertainment. He wrote to challenge you. So here's the real question. Which side are you on? Are you part of the 97% who dream, plan, start, and quit? Or will you join the 3% who fail, learn, persist, and rise? Every day you make that decision. In your work, your relationships, your habits. Persistence isn't something you're born with. It's something you practice. And if you keep practicing long enough, it becomes your identity. Hill's last words on persistence were simple. Those who give up do not realize how close they were to success. Maybe that's you, right? Now, standing 1 inch from the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Stop. You've come too far to be part of the 97%. Be the one who refuses to quit. Be the one who proves Hill right. Because once you do, success won't just be possible. It'll be inevitable.